Okay, we're back. It's a couple hours later, but thanks to the wonders of Solforge being asynchronous drafting, we get to pick up back up where we were. So nothing too amazing in the starting hand. The nice thing about that Vengeful Spirit is that I can likely just ignore it. Vault Technician is definitely the best thing for me to level here. Then I think Assassin probably levels up next best. It's nice to have a 12-13 in your deck at really any point in the game. Alright. Definitely like seeing my Huntresses. We'll see if there's any good trades we can cause thanks to it. Alright, the Death Seeker will trade straight up. Alright. Not anymore. So we cannot pump the the Assassin to survive this, nor can we pump the Technician. So we want a way to kill the Crawler, so I can throw a Huntress in front of it after combat. So I'm going to go ahead and do battle. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So I only need a blank Huntress here. So I'm going to put the other one elsewhere, pump it. I may eventually try and kill that Spirit. I just don't like losing something for it, since it's only got 3 power. Okay. Lots of good things here. The Sower is a good way to kill this Spirit, using the Seedling. However, it might be better to play Sentry War Charger. We'll see. Opponent definitely has an interesting sacrifice deck. Feels a little bit aggressive since it's got the Crawler, so I may need to be careful about that. Okay, so would kill both. So would War Charger, but it would take 2 turns. So I'm going to look at the stats. That's 15-18 with mobility. That's 14-15 with an extra body. That's 15-15 with armor. The Banshee is reasonable against armor. Just to keep some damage off, I think I'll level the Sower first to kill those 2 creatures. And then probably... (15-18) versus 15 with armor. I think the War Charger, although that could be wrong. I feel like the War Charger is slightly better, especially because it's better at the lower levels. Alright, so we've got a choice between Tactician and Pilot. Very likely Tactician. Playing Tactician when you can is usually right, although we did not have that opportunity often at all during our earlier games. We'll see if something is played in the middle lane that will affect our shot at that. Otherwise, I could see a Technician or a Basher being good alongside the Tactician. Technician is also good with War Charger, given that it can move around and apply its increased power to a larger variety of squares. Okay, Grove Dragon is a pretty good creature. However, it's much less good in draft. Although the stats are still reasonable, especially at level 3. So, Tactician is going to level. Gonna move the War Charger. So, Sparkbot levels less well than the Technician. Is it worth playing the Sparkbot just because it can keep its... it stays alive in this combat? I don't think so. I think I'd rather have the better stats. Gets my opponent so that the truth is less likely to be above 100 life. Would be nice to play the Titan last level. We'll see if it's still worth it this level. I'd rather just throw a level 2 in front of Blightwalker so that it can eat the Blightwalker without harm. We'll see. Our opponent hasn't played much that combos with Grove Dragon to like gain life or anything. So I'm wondering if the Grove Dragon was just a lucky late pickup. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's a pain. I think it's good to get a Ravager leveled up. And then I think I will play a Grove Matriarch because it sticks around. Maybe I should have swapped those two. Either way, Grove Matriarch is nice to level. I wish I drew some of our level 2s that round, but so be it. Okay, so one of these can pick off the Corpse Crawler. That's fine. May save the Assassin if I have the opportunity, just because it levels less well, but it's good enough at level 2 to still be fine later. My opponent's deck is definitely interesting. It's got more synergy than our deck. Although, you know, the armor and the buffs and all that is still reasonable. We shall see. Those Corpse Crawlers are a pain, although they don't level as well. Alright, that Feral Instinct is also going to be a pain. Though we can throw Bright Tusk Silver in front of it, we'll take some damage. Throwing Assassin in front of it would negate some of the damage, but that's not the hugest deal. I think I'm going to throw a Sower here. Replace the Seedling. Drop my Sapling in front of the opponent's Seedling. Which means I will throw Huntress here. Probably buff my Sapling. So we're ahead on the board, although our creatures are not too impressive and we're a bit behind on life total. Probably going to play Technician and Grove Huntress just because, again, even small buffs can be very effective on later game boards. Like here, I can keep my Sapling from dying to the Bear Rider. Technician, I'll just eat the zombie. So we will hopefully have the Technician around next turn. Obviously good to draw a Tactician on every level, especially when we're trying to get as many things onto the board as we can. That's a very good play by my opponent, taking out the Sapling while keeping a body around. Okay. Thankfully, the Tactician will allow us to eat the Bear Rider. Which allows our Huntress to pump. Probably the Tactician, just so it's a little more of a pain to get off the board. My opponent's level 2 Blightwalker would take care of it, as would one of the creatures that requires a sacrifice to come into play. Here, all three of these creatures are good to play. Again, having the other two creatures leveled would have been quite good, possibly better than any of the creatures we actually do have, but it's too late to consider them, so. That's 17-17. I think the Matriarch is probably better. Yeah. It's split into two bodies, so it's a little bit iffy, but... yeah, I think I'll play the Matriarch probably here, and the Technician there. Let's just get in for a bit more damage. We've caught up and are a bit ahead on the life game. Our opponent's going to be able to eat the Tactician this turn, but that's fine. Unfortunately, a very unspectacular hand, but we're enough ahead that they're you know, it definitely could have come at a worse time. Probably going to throw the assassin in front of that. That's fine. Conscripts can throw a buff on the matriarch, I suppose. Definitely not amazing, but at least we're not behind on the board. Probably gonna use the adept here, just because the chance that we could draw a level 3 or something is better than basically anything we have on the board. Although I wouldn't mind playing an Enrage or something. I could throw the Metamind Adept to finish that off. Okay. The Adept is going to finish off the... Oh yeah, I forgot the Sapling will do that. That's great. So the Adept will finish this off. Nothing here is impressive, but I'll probably just take the buff. How good is that? Not great. Yeah, I think I'm going to push through some extra damage. 18 is actually pretty reasonable. There we go. So our opponent's almost certainly going to throw something in front of the assassin to kill it. I mean, otherwise I'm perfectly happy with getting in 24 damage, but that's likely to happen, which means that our tactician can probably follow up and clean up. The huntress can buff whatever needs it. So that's this hand is looking much better finally. Unfortunately, I should probably throw the Huntress in front of the Bear Rider. But I'm going to buff the Huntress. So that Tactician will be a bit of a pain to handle. The second Tactician, we can play it for rub-ins and to make our opponent feel bad, but it probably won't do as much. This is going to be -9, so... it will be -16, so we'll essentially have 6 toughness left. Metamind Adept, let's see if we draw something better. Yeah, let's keep the Metamind Adept alive, I think. Could replace the Tactician with a full health Tactician, but keeping a 6 toughness Tactician is not the worst, especially since some of my opponent's creatures would have just eaten the full health Tactician anyway. So I'd rather develop my board. If we can develop a relatively full board of threats, then our buffs will allow us to start winning combats left and right, which is nice. This gives 2 armor? Yeah. Aegis Conscript is not a very impressive creature to me, although 3rd level's okay. Kind of like a 12-19, which... again, if the creature averages are like 5-5, 10-10, 15-15, that's not too bad. But I feel like all the other value creatures, which this counts as, but I feel like all the other ones are better. Alright, my opponent is going deep into the think tank on this one. Alright, Glutton obviously isn't too big a problem. Okay, Glutton's just there to die, which is fine. We'll get in 19 damage. Certainly happy with that. Matriarch comes in and kills the Corpse Crawler. So we're getting in 25 damage. Unfortunately, we don't have any hasty way to deal damage. I think I'd rather have the Ravager just with a slightly higher attack. Though really anything that gets through is lethal, so perhaps it doesn't matter. Again, I think we've got this. Our opponent has to block these 2 and the Matriarch and the Ravager, so very unlikely that our opponent will have an answer. And if so, we seem to have won this draft, which is very, very nice. Drafting the Huntress very highly seems to pay off quite well in any deck, even without the armor draws. So, all right, so we've got lethal. Thanks for watching this time. Let's see what we win in the packs we open. Tournament is complete, and we open Spirit Flame Mystics. Okay. Ooh, Cass Arcweaver. That's nice. I honestly doubt that this creature is amazing, but it's something I want to play in a for fun deck. You know, there's potential there. Definitely cool card to pick up. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.